it's Lori, and sorry about my phone. Okay, this is going to be a Finished Objects Friday, but you get an injury story. This one's humorous. It comes in two parts. So I want to say on Friday, July 1st, many years ago, I was, actually it was in 2011. I'm not sure on the date. Maybe it was June 30th. It was either June 30th or July 1st. Anyway, it was Friday, and I was on a 4-person beach volleyball team with some friends, and we were warming up in the grass, okay? So I still had my, there you go. I'm going to leave that one alone. You all can enjoy the humor of what my phone just said if you want. So, we were warming up on the grass, and I had my sandals on because in the sand I would take them off. But again, we were in the grass, so I had my sandals on. Warming up. I kind of dive, but it's grass, right? So I kind of dive to hit the ball up, and my sandal kind of folds over, breaks my middle toe on my right foot. And I went ahead and proceeded to play in the games because, that's how I am. Because my team was counting on me. So, played 3 volleyball games with a broken toe on my right foot. Got home, then took care of it, tried to splint it up the best I could. At this particular moment, I was transitioning, I was moving because I had bought a townhome. When I finally had a down payment, that's a whole long story too, but had a down payment and was buying a home, but it was a short sale, so it was taking forever. I had the contract in March, but I did not close until, maybe it was May 30th in June. Anyway, thought it was closer to 4th of July, but I closed July 7th, and like I said, I had the contract in March. Let's get the right month. Anyway, so I was living with a friend because my lease was up at the end of May. That's where that was in my head. At the place I was renting, and my townhouse wasn't closing yet, so I had to just kind of tough it out, until it was available. So my friend was gracious enough. She had a basement that had 2 bedrooms. Okay, why is this all important? Obviously, I come home from breaking my toe on my right foot, middle toe, right foot. My friend helps me tape it up and everything because her husband was out of town for work for a while. So everything's cool. A couple days later, I'm walking in the basement with no shoes on. Her Roomba, aka robot vacuum, was just sitting there minding its own business, and then decided to break my pinky toe. So I caught my pinky toe. It was not running, okay? Y'all, this is the talent I have. I caught my pinky toe in such a way on my left foot. So now I have a broken toe on both feet, 4 days apart. 4 days apart. So imagine, I come up and I kind of, how you stub your toes? That's normal. I kind of thought that's what it was. But my pinky toe went on the robot vacuum. Yep. So I had splinted toes on both feet. And I was in a class. It was during the summer. I was in a class. And from the parking lot to the class, because it was college level, right? I think it was master's level, maybe. It was quarter mile to a half mile, somewhere in there. So I'm walking very strangely, right? You kind of compensate. If you got a broken toe, you kind of compensate. No, I had a broken toe on both feet. Yeah, it was cool. The thing is, my broken toes don't bother me that much, but having one on both feet was not ideal. So don't do it. I don't recommend it. Now, we do have a robot vacuum ourselves. We call it Wally, in case you were wondering. Wally. Anyway, that's my story. That's my injury story. I actually sat here for about 5 minutes before filming, trying to decide which injury story I was going to tell next. I figured that one's funny because not only, I was in my 40s. To clarify, I was in my 40s, right? Yeah, or I was 40. when this happened. Yeah, I was 40. Right? Yeah. Yep. 40 in. Managed to break it playing volleyball, warming up, not even in the game. And then the other one on a robot vacuum. I told you I have a gift. I am very talented at this. Anyway, always a reminder, don't be like Lori. It's a bad deal. All right, finished objects. This is a finished object that you didn't even know I was doing. This is going to go on, the reason I did the stick that color, this one's going to be the caramel apple. I have a different pattern altogether for the poison apple, but there's my caramel apple. I'm going to put the caramel on it. I just haven't done that part yet. I haven't decided how I want to do it. So it's going to go on this bag. I still have to do handles, which is why the yarn is still attached. But that's a finished object. It's part of that one. This beast is basically finished. Okay, all the crocheting is finished, but I have a lot of detailing I've got to do. I mostly fixed the cat up. I'm happy with where the cat ended up. Again, that's a light pink. I know it doesn't look like it on my camera. It does in person, so. I think I want to go in and add a little bit more dark orange down in here. So I'm going to do some detailing there. I don't feel like I'm going to put white specks in these eyes. I'm going to work on the shaping of the eyes a little bit, but I'm out of this yellow yarn, like out. It was a scrap to begin with, and now I have 0. I really need to do something about the dog's ears. So I really need to put some dark around there. I need to close up. See, I still have some kind of close up that green around. Pull those pumpkins. The pumpkin stitch, the popcorn stitches, kind of together to make it the right shape, and then put a white dot in there. Like I said, I think I'm going to have to outline those ears in black. You'll see in the picture, you cannot see those ears. You can't tell what's going on. And you can with me showing you like this, but I just need to work on it. There's the pig that's been done forever. I need to go in and close those edges, and then the pig will be done. Then the cow, or the calf, we decided because of the size of the dog. I'm not thrilled with the eyes. I got to do some work on the eyes. The eyes right here, and that's brown. And obviously I have an end coming out there randomly. I have a few ends in the back here, but I'm keeping them for detailing. So, I don't know. But it's done. In case you're wondering, okay, this side is really heavy. Ugh, I forgot to weigh the yarn. Let's do that right now. So let's talk about the yarn. 1 entire ball of this Red Heart Comfort. It's 340 grams, 12 ounces, 593 meters, 649 yards. The medium weight 5.5 millimeter hook, which is what I used, or 4.5 millimeter needles. You can wash and dry, but don't iron or bleach. The colorway, because I know some of you wanted to know. The colorway is Coast Print. Coast, C-O-A-S-T, Print, P-R-I-N-T. Coast Print is this color. And these are nice big balls. Now, I used 1 entire ball, and let's see how much, because I forgot. I did weigh it before. It is, oh shoot, my scale is downstairs. Okay. I have another scale. It's just tiny, so we'll just make it work. Luckily, it's just a yarn ball and not a package. I was finding a real struggle with being able to weigh my packages to send out with the little scale. But I took the big scale downstairs because I was weighing a package downstairs. Anyway, I will tell you momentarily how much yarn I used there. Now this yarn here, I'm going to have to go grab a ball when I go grab the scale. This yarn, I believe I used 3 balls of it. It's a bulky 6, but they're pretty small balls. But I'll grab that and give you those details. I'm pretty confident it took 3 balls. Again, what did I learn? Just make the blanket and do appliques. Make the blanket and do appliques. This is what I learned. You can see some of those threads, but anyway. I don't know how much of this mystery pink. That's pink. I know it looks white. It's a light pink. I don't know how much of the white or the black. The pink was in a... There you go. Was that in a yarn swap or in a mystery bag? I think it was in the surprise bag or whatever. I think it was in a mystery bag of yarn from one of the companies. I don't know which one. It's been a while. It's very soft. I do like this pink yarn. It's very pale. Khadijah, hopefully that looks white to you. All right. So I don't know. Not a ton. I did not use very much of this yarn, but I didn't weigh it before or after. So again, that's scrap yarn. The black and white stuff for the most part was scraps or small balls that I had. So I really don't know. But the one that matters the most probably to you, because I had a lot of people that liked this this yarn, is that one. So I'm going to tell you exactly how many. But like I said, I used an entire ball, which is, I already forgot. Oh, I don't think I said. Maybe I did. 649 yards, 593 meters. All right. I'm going to try to pause because I'm filming differently. So hopefully I can pause, bring the scale back, and bring a ball of the dog yarn back. Not made of dog hair. I've done that for my aunt. But that's not what I'm talking about. Be right back. Okay. As promised. Tiny scale. But it has the little trays, so try to get this to work. Let me turn the power on. And I'm going to press tear. Measure. I want in ounces, right? Ounces. Okay. So this was 12 ounces with the ball band before. Oh, okay. And there are 10.56, so about 1.5, right? 12 minus 10.5. Yeah. 1.5 ounces of this. Now I could figure out that yardage, but I could give you a ballpark. Let's see. Okay, so 1.5 ounces out of the second ball, so barely anything. This yarn, I was wrong. I had started on the third. That's what I was remembering. This is called Hometown. I know some of you like Hometown yarn. It's classified as a super bulky 6, 4 ounces, 113 grams, 64 yards, 59 meters, 9 millimeter knitting needles, and 9 millimeter crochet hook. Like I said, this is 4 ounces. But this is the ball that's remaining. Let me... Okay, there we go. Let me weigh this and see if it's exactly 4 ounces. It's 4 ounces, 0.092. This scale is much more accurate. That's why it is good for yarn, but... Okay, now let's see how much I had. 4.092. This still has the ball band on it. I'm going to have to actually write that down, darn it. And my dry erase are over there. So in case you didn't know, I do stuff like this. Okay, I'll write it on anything that's available. So, of this second ball, there's still 2.65 basically left. Let me get you exact. Calculator, where are you, calculator? It's spelled with a C. My stuff is in alphabetical order. It should not have taken me that long. 4.092 minus 2.647, 1.445. So 1.445. 4 divided by 1.445. That's not what I wanted. It's the other one. 1.445. 4. So there, I used about 36% of this ball of yarn. So about a third of it, give or take. So it's a 2 1/3 of these balls, 1 and just a little bit, 1.5 ounces of the 12 ounces. What is that? We'll find that percent. It's not very much. 12%. 12.5% if you want to be exact. 12.5% of this ball. So, yeah, there we go. And then, like I said, with the others, I really can't tell you because I don't have, it has actually 2 little plastic things, but anyway, I keep this one. I think this is the one that Linda just won, Linda's Crochet Channel. it's really good for weighing yarn. It's really accurate, and I appreciate that. So, whereas my bigger scale that I'm using for postage, I had struggles getting enough accuracy with that one. But anyway, while I whack the camera, sorry about that. I'm trying to knock you over, knock you out. Not really. All right. So, please don't get in a fight with a vacuum cleaner, a robot vacuum. It's bad. You will lose, or your toes will, or at least in my case. And oh, can you hear that wind? I'll be quiet. Did you hear that? That's the wind. Because I have the windows open. It rained a little bit earlier. Because that's notable in Colorado because we don't get a lot of rain. Anyway, I started another. I have now 2 more whips. I was hoping this would be an FO today, but I had to get that blanket done. The crochet part needed to be done. Now the detailing will get done soon. But anyway, I was going to open my Color Street fingernails. Okay, I did add the purple sparkles. When I added the purple sparkles, it definitely looks more peach colored, which is what Hadija Ladybird Loves said. But I really like the purple sparkles on there, so anyway. Okay, a few things were left out. Like, I wanted to show this picture because my cat Flynn, my orange cat, was in the spot where I had to take the picture, and he did not move when I laid down the blanket, so my orange cat is under the orange cat, and I had to include this picture. The second picture is the whole entire blanket. It is approximately 40 inches wide, just a little bit less, and nearly 42 inches tall, a little bit less. My measuring tape only went to 40 inches, so that was part of my problem there. I just didn't grab the right measuring tape. Anyway, the third picture is the apple. I forgot to say in the video, the apple is part of Camille's Creations Holiday Challenge. So it's, if you make anything that is one of her tutorials or is from a pattern from one of her 25 things lists, she has a playlist for it, so it's fine. And you can watch her challenge information, and I'll link all that below. But anyway, it was serving dual purpose to be part of the Halloween bag, and also, and the apple is also going to go to Live Fantastical, Michelle and Cheyenne, because their theme for August, sorry, this is September, my goodness, their theme is apples and harvest, so that apple will go to them. But it's going to get attached to the Halloween bag. The Halloween bag is for Armchair Chef Lori's September challenge of something Halloween that holds something. So anyway, I think that's all the information I neglected to say. The apple is maybe, it's not even the full size of my hand, so it's pretty small. And where did I put my measuring tape? Who knows? I probably left it in there. Flynn was trying to get my Winnie the Pooh. That's the orange cat. He was trying to get my Winnie the Pooh measuring tape in. No, that's my Winnie the Pooh measuring tape. I love that thing. Anyway, hopefully that gives you enough information so you can have a whole picture. I will include the Stitch Fiddle. I didn't mention this either. I will include the stitchfiddle.com graph if for any reason you are interested in making this blanket. Again, if you do this, I strongly recommend just make the blanket and then do appliques for the animals. Okay? So that's my recommendation. And maybe single crochets and puffs instead of double crochets and popcorns for your appliques. Anyway, so it's not gigantic, especially the dog. Oh my goodness, especially the dog. And don't use different weight yarn. Again, what is always the lesson? Don't be Lori. All right. Here's the end for real. Thanks for coming in, and can I get an amen?